And we are live, baby. We are doing a Royal Rumble review. AJ, I think I heard a little breathing there. So that's me. But we are gonna talk the Royal Rumble tonight. AJ, let's get right into it. Let's just do match by match. I thought the first match was fantastic. I did not enjoy the
Absolutely.
ending. But Seth Rollins coming out, doing the whole Shield gimmick. He kind of reminded me of like the Joker at times, the way he would just be laughing, even when he was getting beat up, and just antagonizing Roman, the story that he's in Roman's head. And then at the end, it really that's what happened because Roman got disqualified because he just wanted to keep beating up Seth.
To me, if there's an MVP right now, it might be Seth Rollins. He's wrestling his ass off. He is working his ass off. Roman Reigns played his part fantastic. Both guys were outstanding. The match was everything that you could actually want in a championship match. I don't ever agree with championship matches ending in disqualification like that. However, both of these guys remain strong, and both of them actually looked fantastic in the match. So, and because of how much Reigns went nuts, I'm kind of all right with the DQ just because he took it far enough where it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. He didn't, just do a disqualification and hey, we're over. Reigns continued to beat on him afterwards. And I think that's ultimately why this worked.
My God, after that Royal Rumble, who's actually watching us? I can't believe somebody was actually watching and awake enough to actually watch.
That was just me. I popped in his
Awesome.
chair. Don't you worry. Nobody's stuck in it yet. Yeah, it is midnight. And we didn't, promote this on social media or anything. So one other thing I did enjoy.
Yeah, we probably should have promoted it ahead of time.
They'll catch it later. Hey, so one thing I have to say, I also like too, McAfee and even Michael Cole on commentary for this one, when they put over the fact that Roman has held the title longer than anybody, with the exception of Bob Backlund, Pedro Morales, Hulk Hogan, and Bruno Sammartino. That's
Well,
when
they
this.
went in the they actually went in the order of the people who held it longer. So they actually went in the correct order too. So I really enjoyed that.
Yes. I thought it was good. I thought everything was good, but the DQ finish. After this, go ahead.
McAfee also, by the way, is one of my favorite people to listen to. I don't know how you feel about him, but to me, he makes wrestling more enjoyable. His energy and the fact that I honestly believe he loves what he's watching really sells it across to me.
Yeah. No. I wish we got more of him tonight. I was a little upset that they couldn't.
Yeah, we only got him for that match in the main event, right?
I'm trying to think back. Yeah, I think so. They made a joke about
not being on for 3 hours. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that makes sense. Yeah, heavy Raw show when you think about it. But I will say, I guess they didn't want to call them both Rumbles, which I wish they did. But the women's Rumble was next. This was our favorite Rumble. I'm going to say as far as
it should have been the main event.
It's the favorite match of the night.
Should have been the main event.
Melena from the NWA starts it off with Sasha Banks. Now,
I like the
both think she might have got eliminated early. She might have slipped.
It seemed like she slipped. I feel bad for her if she did, because you could see she was genuinely emotional and absolutely touched by her reaction from the fans. So it was great to see her. Great to see the fans absolutely love her. I'm a little sad that she slipped, but hopefully, they'll find a way to. I know she's under contract to NWA. However, it was great to see her.
Yeah, I think so. I know what you're going to say. I'm hoping she finds a way to get another spot in here somehow and do something with Melena, because it was so super cool to see her back on the big stage.
Yeah, it was, and she, like I said, she looked good. I mean, obviously she slipped a little bit, but it was nice to see.
Other surprises of this, I was surprised Sasha was out as early as she was. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't as quick as Melena, but still, I thought she'd be down like the final four or something. Mickie James, just seeing her come out with the Impact title, the Knockouts Women's title. I know they called it the Impact Women's Championship, but the Knockouts.
Yeah, a cool moment.
Yeah. For WWE, I guess it's very rare. It still comes off almost like a mistake. Like they probably didn't know she was working for Impact, but they wanted to get her anyway. But at the end of the day, yeah, really cool. The women's match was interesting because we had a lot of fun surprises. We also had a lot of women we probably didn't care if we saw.
Yeah, we could be positive and not mention them, but I'm gonna mention them. Summer Rae, straight garbage. Kelly, not even cute, doesn't really work well. You've got a whole list of people. Then you bring in Molly Holly, who works absolutely fantastic. She gets beat up outside the ring, beat up inside the ring, and then tossed over the top rope. So that was nice to see.
I thought this was I thought Lita looked better here than the last couple of times.
She did. She looked like she was actually in much better shape. Her moves were much better. She took better bumps.
She avoided the moonsault.
Charlotte has no idea how to take the twist of fate. That now I've seen her come close twice to breaking her neck, taking the twist of fate. I'd rather not see that anymore. My God.
Lita getting rid of Mickie was the right choice too, because I think
you had to
boo. You had to have someone like Lita do that, right?
Yeah, you had to, and you had to know at some point Mickie was going.
Right.
There's no way Mickie was staying in there, especially once they brought out Ronda Rousey. There's no way in hell Mickey's going over. So you have to have the right person put her out, and I think
agree.
Lita was the right person for it.
I agree. I thought Rousey looked good here for the most part. I'm going to take a little criticism.
She's a little rusty.
A little nitpicky. I'm just going to say in the fact, I don't even think it's rust. I've always thought that Ronda, because I think she's scared to lay into people.
She held back.
Yeah, her punches are always
In fairness, half the people she had to beat up were ladies that were rusty themselves and back in the business for a while. Like she came in and had to beat up on the Bellas and stuff of that nature. And the Bellas are good for what they do. Don't get me wrong. Brie looked really good. Nikki looked good, but I don't really want to see them taking shots from Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was what it was too. We had some women here that, Alicia
she seems much more willing to lay it in when she's wrestling someone who she feels is on an even foot with her, like Charlotte, Natalia, freaking she seems much less afraid to lay in, and so I think we could both agree on this. Most likely, she's heading to WrestleMania versus Becky, and no matter which one, I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion,
right?
But to me, that's your money match is big time Bex versus Ronda Rousey. And I don't think she'll be afraid to lay into Becky.
I think a lot of people I talked to in the groups tonight, people were saying that they think it's going to be Charlotte and Rousey because the way they did that ending.
It absolutely could, but here's what they're doing. They're using logic. Right. And when it comes to watching the WWE, you have to take logic, literally open up your window and throw it out the fucking window.
Right. We'll see what happens. A few other surprises. Sarah Logan was good. I mean, that was quick, but
it was quick.
Was a nice moment.
Great moment. Did you see? And Liv couldn't hold back her emotions. Freaking Liv when she saw her just.
It was only nice for a few seconds, and then we just saw the Bellas eliminate them of all people.
Yeah, well, if there's anybody who deserves to be eliminated by the Bellas right now, it's Liv Morgan, who's worked really hard at developing her character and has worked really hard to get to the next level. So to bring her back to reality and have her eliminated by the Bellas was fantastic.
These women the Bellas are always protected. They're very loved there.
Well, even if you think about it, Nikki didn't even get eliminated by Ronda Rousey. Nikki got eliminated by Brie.
Right. Now, at the end, Ronda, big win. This was a good moment. After this,
first of all, the crowd went nuts.
Oh, for the next match, Doudrop and Becky? Yes.
or they went nuts when they heard Ronda's music hit. That might have been the biggest pop. You know what? It might not have been the biggest pop of the night. Randy Orton might have been the biggest pop of the night being his hometown. But it's one of those two.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah, so Dewdrop and Big Time Bex was next. God bless these women for trying.
They
Tough
did a hell
spot.
of a match.
Yeah, tough
They
spot to
rest.
be in. Dewdrop, not a great name. Hasn't been booked really well. Booked as a heel mostly.
If I hear anybody criticize their work in this match, you're out of your mind. They both worked their asses off.
Yeah, and they got the fans a little bit at the end too. It was just a tough uphill battle.
Well, you come off of a great emotional match with the Rumble and with Ronda Rousey and everything that happened there. And then you bring out Dewdrop, who we both know as Piper Niven. We know that she can wrestle her ass off. She works great.
Right.
She's a hell of an athlete. But the WWE, first of all, booked her as a heel. And then 3 weeks ago, they have her win a match nobody thought she was going to win.
Right.
Then you try to convince everybody she's a face for 2 weeks. And how's the crowd supposed to actually get invested in that over 2 weeks?
And Becky's not even completely over as a heel.
She's
still
not.
love
She's getting
Becky.
cheered for.
Yeah.
She was one of the loudest pops of the night when she comes out.
My buddy Kristen texted me. He was like, "Do people actually boo Big Time Bex?" Because he doesn't watch it all the time anymore. And I'm like, I was like, if Bianca Belair was this, it'd be a mixed reaction.
Yeah.
Dewdrop, no.
Yeah, there's no way Dewdrop's getting any kind of cheers over Big Time Bex.
No.
Hell, I'm not sure. I'm not sure Seth Rollins is getting cheers over Big Time Bex.
Definitely not. His wife's more over. Just ask Jim Ross. Yeah, Becky, big win though. She looked great. I'm getting very excited for Mania. I'm even kind of excited for the Saudi show. See what they end up doing with this.
Saudi show is going to be great. See, here's the thing. With Bex being on Raw right now, if you've got plenty of people to challenge her on Raw. Mm-hmm. Whereas I don't feel like Charlotte has quite as many people to challenge her on SmackDown.
That's why I feel like the more I thought about it, we could see Rousey. Plus the Fox factor. Fox carries a little more weight. They might want Rousey on their show.
Well, the big thing that might swing it is that video package later in the show about Sasha Banks reiterating how important Sasha Banks is to the company. She might get she might get Charlotte at WrestleMania. Plus, we got Bayley and Asuka coming back in March.
We shall see. So after that, we went right to Lashley Brock. Great video package beforehand. Two very legit guys. Man, I'll tell you what, they were making each other like there was like a cut on Lesnar's face. There was a little bit of blood on Lashley's mouth. They were just not afraid to get physical with each other, and that's not really a surprise. Two legit heavyweight badasses. Big fight feel. This felt like it could have been a good main event if it wasn't obviously the storyline we needed Brock out later. But man,
What's up, Randy Asuka in the house?
Yeah, Randy, I was going to get to that. Really great match, and I liked it. I just liked the way this came off. And in the end, man, we got Roman and Paul back together. Like as expected. What'd you think of this overall? I'll let you go from there, but I mean, I think at the end of the day,
I was muting my mic real quick because I had to cough into it. I didn't want everybody to have to listen to that. There was an absolutely great match. They beat the crap out of each other. I think that the story that was told into it was fantastic. I like the fact that Paul turned. Paul needs to be with his tribal chief. Brock is getting himself over. He doesn't need it. Mm-hmm. I absolutely, yeah. I know. I never thought I would actually say that, but Brock's personality right now is out of control. It's fantastic. I absolutely. This might be one of my matches of the night. It's either this one or the Women's Royal Rumble. To be honest with you, although I did enjoy the first match, also I actually enjoyed this match more just because of the way they beat the shit out of each other.
Agreed. And I don't want to jump ahead. I guess we'll just get right to the men's
Plus, it didn't end in a disqualification.
Right. So I'm just going to say the next match was fine for what it was. Edge and Beth Phoenix. Glad to see Beth back. They did good in this spot. They won. I love these two. But, at the end of the day, I just wanted to get to the men's rumble at this point.
Yeah, which was a mistake because it turns out that I enjoyed the tag match more.
Well, we talk about all that. We look forward to the surprises of the men's rumble.
Absolutely.
And there wasn't really a lot of surprises.
Wasn't a lot of surprises. The biggest surprises that we had were things that pissed me off.
And they came all right at the end too. They made us to wait for Shane O'Mac. Let's see. Randy says, I'm guessing the elimination match is for a take on Lashley on WrestleMania. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So whoever wins the elimination will probably end up taking on Lashley.
Yeah, we'll take on Lashley at WrestleMania, and Brock's gonna obviously go against Roman at WrestleMania. I think he's 100% right.
Even though we both thought Brock might win this Rumble, and that was the way to get to it, the way they did it, I don't think did Brock any favors, because Brock didn't get to come down to the very end, and then he eliminated everybody, like the hometown hero, Randy Orton. So I felt like Brock almost ended up getting heel heat at the end of it.
Well, we got to see some great eliminations in this match. I agree with you. I think that it was horrible.
I want to talk about those eliminations. Yes, there was one I know really hit home for us. We were really happy when Madcap Moss we got rid of AJ Styles. I think.
If anybody deserves to lose to Madcap Moss, it's AJ Styles. Thank you for all you've done for us for the last 20-something years wrestling. We love the fact that you've entertained us and have given your body. You got what you deserved.
Also, I have to say another elimination, and I like Shane McMahon as well as you do, but the 50-something-year-old, I was thinking, you know what? I hope he just gets rid of Kevin Owens.
Kevin deserved that. Kevin just hasn't done enough. He really hasn't been giving to the company. He did just sign that brand new contract.
Diving off freaking balconies and stuff.
Well, in that contract, one of the clauses that he signed was must get eliminated by Shane McMahon at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. The Kofi spot did not work, Randy.
It worked for me. I've been for years hoping he would just slip.
Gravity's a bitch.
Especially with how much they were talking his whole way down there, how he's a human highlight reel, how you can never eliminate him, how hard it is. And then he goes for the first spot in the match and eliminates himself.
Yeah. Well, obviously that was a tough spot.
And it was absolutely a tough spot.
Yeah, I know.
But sometimes you got to be careful how much you pump something up.
Right.
And I'm sure he practiced it, and I'm sure he actually knocked it out of the park every time.
Yeah, but it's live.
It's live. You're sweaty.
Right. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I know. You called it right away. You're like, his feet did hit. And then they showed around the replay, and I'm like, well, it's clearly, what are you going to do now? I think they knew, like, all right, get out of here.
Well, the ref came over. If you notice, the ref actually came over the moment it happened. It was like, nah, man, your feet hit.
Right. We're done. You got to go. I wonder what would have happened. I wonder how long he was going to be in.
Probably until Brock Lesnar got there.
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah, and then he was going to go flying.
It was cool to see Drew McIntyre back. That was the one thing I'll say. I was expecting Drew. I thought Drew would be out longer.
The only problem is with neck problems, to rush back neck problems, every time somebody was working his neck, I was terrified for him.
Do you think we could see, well, Drew's on SmackDown. Man, I'm wondering who's going to face Lashley at Mania.
Now, if we get lucky, we'll get more Drew versus Madcap and Baron Corbin there, and hopefully they'll take that right through to WrestleMania.
Well, we're gonna get Brock and Roman, it looks like.
Can I ask you a question? And now this is a serious question. Does anybody do better ring gear? And I know you think I'm going to ask you about Sasha because Sasha's ring gear is incredible. But no, does anybody have better ring gear than Madcap Moss?
Like the Dutch boy type thing. He's got the shoes.
He's literally wearing shorts from Nautica with freaking suspenders.
Yeah.
It's got to be the best gear I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are we going to get Shane and Kevin Owens again? I'm going to say no because I don't even want to put that into existence.
Oh, please, Lord. But I got to believe Shane's not back for just the Rumble. Hopefully he'll get the Elimination Chamber also. Yeah. And maybe we'll get lucky and he'll win that, and we'll get to see his MMA style versus Bobby Lashley's.
That would be
that could main event night one.
I'm trying to think. Unless they pull a surprise on us and Brock takes on,
it's got to be Brock versus. I'm thinking Brock versus Lesnar to main event night 2,
Lesnar
and I'm
versus
thinking
Roman.
that night 1 is going to be Becky versus Ronda Rousey. If I had to guess, which I do because we do a show.
Right. But all right.
What are you thinking?
I'm gonna actually go Ronda Charlotte. I think the Fox thing's the X factor for me. I think that's gonna happen, and I think
so are you thinking Belair versus Becky?
Right. I think because Belair's on Raw, and I think
I got no problem with that.
Will probably co-main event the night of Roman Charlotte. I'm sorry, Roman and Lesnar. Roman Charlotte would be a hell of a main event.
Do you think we'll get lucky in Knoxville versus Sami Zayn? We'll get it at WrestleMania.
No, you know what? We'll give him a little extra talk while we're at it here too. Sami Zayn just re-signed the contract.
He did.
Yeah.
That's why he got the win tonight. He was originally he was doing the job in Knoxville.
He said he was actually happy with his spot, and he thought he was getting he liked his position in the company, and he's very happy where he is with the company.
Dude, I like to get paid too. I don't blame him. So I gotta tell you, I was impressed with Johnny Knoxville. I knew from the Jackass and stuff like that he could obviously take abuse.
Right.
And obviously he made some comments last night that were a little stiff about the wrestlers, which I do believe was actually setting up what he took tonight. And he ended up taking the beating like he should have. Same thing with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny knows his spot, knows how to. He's doing a good job of working. So the two celebrities they had, I was actually all right with. I just would have liked to have seen some kind of surprise that meant something in the Royal Rumble.
I was hoping Kurt Angle or somebody from another promotion.
Jeff Jarrett, fucking NXT guys. We saw no NXT guys.
Walter. Yeah, I know. And at the end of the day, we didn't get any of that.
Randy, if Johnny Knoxville ever actually took shots from me, he would never actually wrestle again.
I mean, what kind of shots we talking about here? Come on now.
I would stiff the shit out of him.
No forbidden door, Randy. Yeah. Well, I mean, we did get the Mickie thing, so we can't say that. But yeah.
We got Melina too.
I know. I never know if Melina's really on contract. Nobody made mention of the NWA.
I will tell you, I'm thankful for something. I had seen video earlier today that Oksana was actually there.
Oh God.
And she ended up not being in the Rumble. So WWE, thank you for that.
They might have just had her in the back working on it, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't do this."
Yeah, they had a video. They put it up as a spoiler on freaking PW Insider because she had put it, I guess, up on her Instagram that she was there backstage, and that absolutely terrified me when I saw that. I was like, "Oh my God." She couldn't work when she was there. No offense, Summer Rae, but Jillian Hall didn't make it either, and she was one of the spoilers who was backstage.
So, all right, let's do this before we get out of here. Then Cameron was there. I didn't need to see Cameron. Actually, I will say this: Cameron did better than I thought she would. I don't ever remember Cameron being that good, and I thought she did her spots.
Well, that was also bullshit too. They fed the line. They were like, "Oh, Sonya Deville's going after her. She came in and she was friends with Naomi and close friends." They actually couldn't stand each other, and that's one of the reasons Cameron got kicked out of the Federation was because she couldn't get along with anyone.
Which probably makes sense too when they're trying to sell the angle, and Naomi's going to look at her. It was like,
exactly. You looked at her for what, about a half a second?
Yeah, like, yeah, you're all right, bitch. Good. All right.
Good. Great to see you.
I gotta go. Fucking
A.
Damn. I thought that was a little bit forced too. But all right, let's just do this before we get out of here. Let's go top 3 matches of the night from 3 to 1.
There were only 5 matches.
I know. I'm gonna go at number 3. I'm gonna go Seth and Roman because of the DQ finish, and then I'm gonna go Lashley and Brock, and then I gotta go to Women's Rumble.
This is gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go with Seth and Roman. Yeah. I'm gonna go with Brock and Lashley, and then I'm gonna go with the Women's Royal Rumble. Once again, the women have managed to steal the show. Here's something you might not know. Do you know who was actually helping to produce that Royal Rumble this evening?
The Women's Rumble.
Yes.
No.
They brought in Fit Finley to actually produce the Royal Rumble for the women this year.
Smart, real smart.
Yeah, that's that might give you a little insight as to how good it was. The fact that Fit Finley was working on it.
And I'll say this too.
He should have helped out on the men's.
A lot of people complained. Like, it's funny. Fans are so toxic sometimes. Like, Mickie James got in, and everybody's like, well, that's just because they don't have 30 women. And it's like, well,
they got plenty of women.
They can find women. You got NXT UK, you got NXT, you know. But I think one of the things that's great about this, though, like, they actually end up bringing a lot of surprise and a lot of legends back a lot of times. So
Absolutely.
we really don't know who's going to be doing it. That's what's fun about this.
Well, and that's what pissed us off so much about the men's, to be honest with you, was the fact that there were no real surprises. Once Brock lost, we kind of knew Brock was coming. We did know Brock was coming. Hell, Booker T, before he was even announced to be in the Rumble on the pre-show, Booker T slipped and said, I'm picking Brock Lesnar. He wasn't in the Rumble yet. He was the champ. Yeah.
And I will say this before we get out of here too. Randy Osgood, the Shield entrance.
No NXT people at all.
It was one of my favorite things too. No, there wasn't. There wasn't.
Not even no NXT women. No NXT women or no NXT men. Not a single NXT person in either Rumble.
Not at all. But on that note, overall, I thought the Rumble was good. I just wish it would have ended a little better.
The total show, if so, let's do it on a 10-star on a 10 rating. If we're doing the total show, then I'm going to give it an 8 for a total show.
Okay.
I might even give it a 7, to be honest with you, just because
you said that. I was actually going to say a 7.5. So I was actually in the middle of both those. So
yeah, if they had a better men's Rumble,
right,
or if they had set up Doudrop and Becky better, it could have been a 9.
Yeah.
And like we said before with Becky and Doudrop, I feel bad for both of them because they both wrestled their ass off. The match was not set up well.
I agree. But guys, it's late and I got to shovel some snow tomorrow. I'm tired. So Working Fans Podcast, Royal Rumble review, Man They Call Dave, AJ Strangebrew.
We do the work so you don't have to.